Good morning, America. Happening right now, state of emergency. A massive hurricane is barreling toward Texas. Winds already topping 100 miles an hour. The biggest storm to hit the U.S. in more than a decade. Heavy rain, lightning already moving in. Harvey gaining strength and threatening millions in its path.
Mandatory evacuations in effect. The mad scramble to get out this morning.
As they say, get out of Dodge.
People panicking over food and water and hours-long lines for gas.
Absolute insanity over this hurricane.
Babies airlifted out of hospitals to safety. We are live in the storm zone as millions brace for the major hurricane.
Powerball dream, the hospital worker and mother of two, now the luckiest person in America, striking it rich on that massive jackpot. She's already said goodbye to her job.
I've called them and told them I will not be coming back.
How she picked those winning numbers.
ABC News exclusive.
Look what you made me do.
Millions watching Taylor Swift's big debut overnight. The superstar's stunning fans.
But I got smarter, I got harder in the nick of time.
Just hours ago, dropping her first song in over 3 years.
Honey, I rose up from the dead, I do it all the time.
Defending her reputation, the reaction already pouring in. And this morning, an exclusive sneak peek at what's coming in her highly anticipated music video, only on GMA.
You made me do. Look what you just made me.
Live in Times Square, this is GMA with Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Michael Strahan.
Good morning, America. There is a lot of news to get to this morning. We are closely watching Hurricane Harvey growing in strength, slowly making its way toward the Texas coast. Take a look at this view. This is from the International Space Station, showing just how massive Harvey is.
It is expected to make landfall as a Category 3 hurricane. Winds up to 120 miles an hour, could be even higher. It is the strongest storm to make landfall in over a decade. The first major hurricane to hit Texas in 18 years. And it could bring historic rainfall. We are already seeing evacuations.
Yeah, it is a major threat to this population there in the Texas coast, and we have team coverage all across the storm zone. Ginger is tracking the very latest from right here in Times Square. Good morning, Ginger.
Good morning to you, Amy and George, and good morning, everyone. This is a giant storm, especially for the United States. You can see it here, the radar, the lashing outer bands to the southeast Texas coast, lightning already moving in from Houston to Victoria to Corpus Christi. Waking up this morning, this storm has started. In less than 24 hours, it will make landfall, and that's why we see hurricane warnings on the map. And of course, you've got those tropical storm warnings that extend all the way west to San Antonio and Austin in a flash flood watch. The #1 issue is going to be rainfall and deadly or potentially deadly flooding. Even San Antonio and Austin could see 10 to 20 inches of rain. Locally, some places will see close to 3 feet. This is a lot of rain happening over the next 5 days or so. The wind speeds, especially in this red zone, 110 miles per hour or higher as it makes landfall. Matt Gutman is right there in Corpus Christi. Matt, there saying that places could be uninhabitable for weeks or even months.
Yeah. Could be pretty bad here, Ginger. And just last night, there wasn't a cloud in the sky in this bay. And that storm is still about 160 miles out. But just over the past few hours, we've really started to feel those rain bands pelt us and also the wind coming much harder. And you can see that the water from the seawall is already starting to lap up here. All of this creating this turbocharged sense of urgency in this part of Texas.
With Hurricane Harvey's outer bands already lashing the Gulf Coast this morning, a mass exodus is underway, traffic piling up on freeways.
As they say, get out of Dodge.
In many counties, evacuation is mandatory. Tens of thousands of Texans ordered to flee. The Goliath storm is growing, covering much of the Gulf Coast in this image from the International Space Station. And this is the view from inside the storm, a hurricane hunter plowing through its center. The storm forecast to dump a biblical deluge of up to 3 feet of rain. After news that the storm exploded in size, residents in Corpus Christi besieging this hardware store.
These people are here buying plywood, plank after plank of plywood. The line just to get to the cashier is 20 minutes long.
Residents not taking it lightly.
I'm 65 now, and I don't want to die at 65.
And in some areas, like Houston, panic as people scour for supplies.
There's no more water. There's no more bread. The bread's already running out as well.
Lines for gas, wood, and sand snaking around the block, some over 3 hours long.
This is the line to get gas. Absolute insanity over this hurricane.
Those in Harvey's path battening down the hatches as officials in an already inundated New Orleans contemplate a full evacuation of the city. The impact of the storm may be felt nationwide. Gulf refineries produce about 45% of the country's oil, and 1/3 of the country's refineries are directly in the hurricane's path, with hundreds of oil rigs dotting the coast.
Now, Ginger mentioned rain and also the storm surge. I want to give you a sense of how much higher the water in this bay could rise here. Now, at first, they were predicting a 4 to 6 foot storm surge. That's to about here. Now they're talking about a 12-foot storm surge. That's all the way up here, and this could happen in high tide. On top of that, the waves are forecast to be about 20 feet higher, so they will easily wash over this seawall, inundating this part of Corpus Christi. George?
Okay, Matt, thanks very much. That storm surge and, of course, the heavy rains likely to cause major flooding across the coast, and we're going to go to Rob Marciano for more on that. Our senior meteorologist, he's in Freeport.
Hey, good morning, George. We're already starting to see that water run up here. We're just about 50 miles south of Houston. The winds have become steady in this short beach. Already seeing water up against this seawall. 5 to 9 feet of storm surge expected here. That should be enough to get over this wall and inundate some of these coastal homes. But this inlet gets into this Freeport harbor. Look at all that infrastructure back there. Petrochemical plants, oil refineries, all at risk with this. Here's how storm surge works. As this low pressure deepens, it allows the sea level to rise just a little bit. But really, it's the wind that piles up that water, the crashing waves until it hits the land. It has nowhere else to go, inundating everything in its path, people, property, homes. It's certainly a very devastating part of this storm, but also the rainfall. And this is reminiscent of Hurricane Allison. It won't be quite like Ike, which had a huge storm surge, but it could be like Allison as far as the rain is concerned. If you check out some of the video from 2001, we had rainfall there, 40 inches, causing $9 billion in damage, dozens of people losing their lives across the Texas area, and thousands of people homeless. It is not the wind, it is the water from storm surge and rainfall that does the most damage to life and property, and that's what we're fearing with this storm.
We
George?
sure are. Okay, Rob, thanks very much. As you would imagine, Harvey is already causing travel delays. 83% of flights to Corpus Christi already canceled overnight. Most flights in and out of Houston not expected to be affected until tonight, and major airlines are waiving cancellation fees for people traveling through the storm's path.
And as we told you, thousands are evacuating in Texas, trying to make it out before the hurricane hits. And ABC's Eva Pilgrim is there at the evacuation center in San Antonio, Texas, which took in more than 25,000 people after Hurricane Katrina back in 2005. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, Amy. Yes, staging happening here in San Antonio this morning. We are seeing first responders and charter buses gathering nearby here at the AT&T Center. San Antonio, a state and federally designated evacuation center. Now, tens of thousands heading here as they get out of Harvey's way. There are 40,000 plus hotel rooms, and preps are happening right now to get those warehouses and schools ready for that influx of people. One of the major issues with this storm, we're expecting a lot of rain here. There's some real concern for flooding as all those people head this way. Amy?
Eva Pilgrim, thank you. Let's turn now to the head of FEMA, Brock Long, who is in Washington, D.C. Brock, I want to get FEMA's perspective here. How serious is the situation at this moment?
Very serious. Unfortunately, the storm is currently strengthening. The pressure is dropping. It's forecast to be a major landfalling hurricane, which means that this would be the first major landfalling hurricane we've had since 2005. Right now, if citizens have been asked to evacuate, their window to evacuate, that window is closing very rapidly.
And Brock, how confident are you that the infrastructure is in place to prevent a major disaster? You mentioned the last time this area, especially the Louisiana coast, faced something like this was 2005, Katrina.
Let me set expectations. Texas is about to get hit by a major hurricane, so there's going to be damage. Not only are you going to see large-scale storm surge damage, but we're also going to see over the next 3 to 5 days significant amount of rainfall, which is going to cause a great amount of inland flooding. So there's going to be damage. Now, FEMA is already positioned inside both states of Texas as well as Louisiana.
Brock, what is your biggest concern, your biggest fear with this storm?
Right now, it's the life safety mission. I'm afraid that people may not be taking this storm seriously. They may not be heeding the warning. And again, that window to evacuate is coming to a close.
All right. Brock Long, thank you so much for your time this morning. We know you've got a busy weekend ahead.
Thank you.
Boy, people have got to get out of there. We just heard Brock Long talk about that dangerous flooding. Let's go to Ginger for more on that.
And George, after it hits early tomorrow morning and makes landfall, usually a storm dies out. This one will start to decrease in intensity, but watch this. It makes a U-turn and goes right back toward the Gulf of Mexico, feeding off of those warm waters. Look at Tuesday into Wednesday. We are still talking about Harvey sitting over southeast Texas, and this is where we end up getting two high-pressure systems, these blocking kind of situation where it's sandwiching all that moisture between. There are no steering mechanisms to help get this storm out, and that's why we're talking about up to 35 inches of rain in southwest Louisiana in that 6 to 12 inch range, including New Orleans. It's all going to be happening as we head into next week. This is going to be a storm we talk about, unfortunately, for at least the next 7 days. George and Amy?
Incredible, Ginger. Thank you. And in preparation for the storm this morning, a powerful image from the storm zone. Some of the most vulnerable hospital patients have already been evacuated from a hospital right there in Corpus Christi. They include 10 critically ill babies seen here being med-flighted to an intensive care unit in North Texas. Doctors say they are doing all they can before Harvey hits, fearing a prolonged power outage during the storm. So it's certainly comforting to see all of those little ones getting to safety.
It sure is. You know, President Trump is monitoring the hurricane with a call overnight to the governor of Texas as he spoils for a showdown with his own party over a government shutdown. Our chief White House correspondent John Carl tracking all that. And John, you're also reporting overnight that the president may be close to a big change in immigration.
A big and controversial change, George. With a government shutdown looming, White House officials tell ABC News that the president is seriously considering ending a program that provides legal status to hundreds of thousands of undocumented immigrants who came to the United States as children. The move the president is considering would put nearly 800,000 undocumented immigrants in danger of being deported. They are known as dreamers, people who came into the United States illegally as children. President Obama gave them legal status. Back in January, President Trump told ABC they had little to fear.
They shouldn't be very worried. They are here illegally. They shouldn't be very worried. I do have a big heart.
But now several conservative states, led by Texas, are threatening to sue to end the program. And White House officials say the president is seriously considering giving in rather than defending the program in court. The move comes as President Trump is threatening a government shutdown unless Congress provides funds to pay for his wall on the Mexican border. During the campaign, of course, Trump promised that Mexico would pay for the wall.
Border, and I will have Mexico pay for that wall. Who's going to pay for the wall? 100%.
So why is he now threatening a government shutdown if Congress won't pay for it?
The president's committed to making sure this gets done.
Again, he said over and over again, he talked about the campaign over and over again, he said Mexico's going to pay for the wall.
Now, once again, the president's committed to making sure this happens, and we're going to push forward.
SNL's Weekend Update ridiculed the president's new hard line on Congress paying for the wall.
What do we want? The wall! Who's going to pay for it? Mexico! That's right, you are the American taxpayer.
The president appears to be gearing up for a fight with Republican leaders. On Thursday, he blasted Senate leader Mitch McConnell over the Senate's failure to repeal Obamacare, tweeting, "He failed. That should never have happened." He also took aim at both McConnell and House Speaker Paul Ryan over the looming budget battle, calling it a mess. The shutdown threat is real, George. Republicans on Capitol Hill acknowledge that it is virtually impossible to get the votes to pay for the wall in the upcoming budget negotiations. That means either the president backs down or there is a shutdown. And White House officials insist he has no intention of backing down.
Yeah, and John, we're seeing a sustained campaign by the president against leaders of his own party. The Wall Street Journal says today it looks as if he's filing for divorce from congressional Republicans, but it doesn't seem to be making any sense because he needs them more than ever now. It's almost as if he's trying to lay blame because he's worried something's not going to get done.
He absolutely cannot get any of his agenda through without those Republican leaders leading the way because, George, the president has done virtually nothing to reach out to Democrats, so he's certainly not going to get help from them. He needs Mitch McConnell, you could argue, more than Mitch McConnell needs him. On
another front, the president's top economic advisor, Gary Cohn, has been under some pressure to resign since Charlottesville, and now he's spoken out for the first time.
Yeah, this is an extraordinary interview with the Financial Times. I want to read you two excerpts from it, George. He says this administration can and must do better in consistently and unequivocally condemning these groups, these hate groups, and do everything we can to heal the divisions that exist in our communities. He is taking issue with the president's response to Charlottesville. And then on the issue of whether or not he would resign, he says this: I have come under enormous pressure both to resign and to remain in my current position. As a patriotic American, I am reluctant to leave my post. But then he adds, I also feel compelled to voice my distress over the events of the past 2 weeks. So extraordinary criticism from the president's top economic advisor here at the White House.
Yeah, the president himself said on Tuesday night that his words on Charlottesville were perfect. John Carl, thanks very much. We'll have much more Sunday on This Week. Amy?
All right, George, and we turn now to the country's latest multimillionaire, Mavis Wanzik, quickly coming forward to claim her prize after Wednesday night's Powerball drawing. It topped out at more than $758 million, but Mavis opted for that lump sum of over $480 million, meaning she will walk away with $336 million after taxes. And ABC's Gio Benitez is at the Massachusetts Lottery headquarters with more on this very happy story. Gio?
It is indeed, Amy. Good morning to you. She now has so much money, she's worth more than the GDP of some small countries. And this morning, she's just trying to make sense of it all.
This morning, the biggest single-ticket jackpot winner in history is a 53-year-old mother of two who's already quit her job at the medical center she's worked at for 32 years.
I've called them and told them I will not be coming back.
Mavis Wanzik decided to take the lump sum. After taxes, that's $336 million.
Today, as I'm driving here, I'm still like, oh, this isn't true. This can't be. And then now it's like, I am a winner, and I'm scared.
Well, she's still not as rich as Oprah, whose net worth is equal to $3.1 billion, but she's close to Celine Dion, Barbra Streisand, and Beyonce.
Okay, ladies, now let's get information.
And surpasses Taylor Swift's $280 million. It's unusual to hear from a winner so quickly after the drawing, just 14 hours, especially in Massachusetts, a state that allows winners to claim a jackpot anonymously through a trust. Wanzik said she just wanted to get it over with. After all, going against conventional wisdom works for her.
My numbers were kind of basically random, like maybe with our birthdays, maybe one from here, one from there.
Ignoring common advice about not picking numbers based on birthdays because those numbers only go up to 31, but Powerballs go up to 69. Luckily for her, it worked out. The highest number in her winning combination was 26.
And she says the first thing she's going to do is pay off her car. But other than that, she's got no plans. She says she's just too overwhelmed.
And Gio, thanks for reminding people not to listen to our advice about the lottery.
You can pick whatever numbers you want, apparently. And I love that she called her boss. That was very nice of her.
That was very nice. Let's go back to Ginger, more on the storm surge.
Yes, we want to talk about not just the storm surge, but the wind and also tornadoes. As this rotates toward land, it hits the friction of the land. You can get little spin-up tornadoes, but also huge waves, up to 20-foot waves piling on top of storm surge. You have that small sliver of land, those barrier islands that lay right to the east of Corpus Christi and all of the ports there, Galveston, of course, included. You could see up to 12-foot surge. Weekend Getaways now brought to you by Kohl's.
They say glory awaits at the finish. But what about the start? That moment you suck up all that doubt, that fear, all those reasons why not, and decide to begin. Get your game on with Under Armour, now at Kohl's.
All eyes on Hurricane Harvey in the Gulf of Mexico, continuing to strengthen before making landfall overnight tonight, potentially as a Category 3 hurricane. Meanwhile, in our area, we're talking lots of sunshine for this afternoon, and our daytime high today in the upper 70s, looking like a great weekend if you have the tickets at Nationals Park. Sunshine for Saturday and also Sunday afternoon. Notice our daytime highs in the mid to upper 70s, still a little bit below average for this time of year.
Coming up, we'll be tracking all the latest on Harvey all morning long.
And then Taylor Swift is dropping that new single overnight, and we have an exclusive first look at the images from the highly anticipated music video. You're only going to see it here on GMA.
Look what you made me do. Look what you just made me do. Look what...
Hurry, it's the final days of the Ford Summer Sales Event.
Shovel,
mulch,
brick pavers,
fence post,
concrete.